Hello Internet, I'm Hugo.
And I'm alcoholism and PTSD.
And this is Unpopular Culture, and today we're going to be talking about the new trailer for Jessica Jones Season 2, which is coming out in March, I believe.
Jessica Jones, my second favorite, second favorite Marvel series. Punisher's bumping up against it.
Oh, you're right, I forgot about the
I'm
Punisher.
saying season.
Okay.
Because Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones, Punisher, which is kind of right there, and then everything else is kind of... It's over there.
Excuse me, do you not find Danny Rand walking into every room and telling people that he is the immortal Iron Fist? Is that not compelling television?
You know what was compelling television? The first half of Luke Cage. The second half was terrible.
Alright, so let's talk about Jessica Jones Season 2. The trailer came out, and firstly, it appears that there were no references to Defenders, first of all. I assume that won't...
I don't know, no references. Probably minimal because she's doing her own thing, right?
Yeah, she had the least to do with a lot
and
of the
also
stuff going on in Defenders.
Let's step away from that for just a minute because it's Jessica Jones again. Guys, remember you like that, so let's do that and really not try to mention Danny Rand. Hopefully he doesn't have a cameo. I'm fine with, you know what? I'm fine with Mike Coulter coming back, Luke Cage actor. I'm fine with, just don't have Danny Rand be in this at all because the actors themselves are fine.
They won't have Danny Rand.
Like Luke Cage in Season 1 of Jessica Jones, very interesting character.
I think because Scott Buck is now banished from Marvel for all of eternity, I would assume.
Sorry, Scott.
The next time we see Iron Fist, I assume he will be...
Cool? Say cool. Tell me cool.
Better written.
Damn it. Can we? I just wanted like Daredevil Season 1 fights, but like up 2 notches.
Yeah, it should be. It really should be. He's the master of martial arts for the fucking Marvel Universe. But anyway, Jessica Jones. It really seems like the trailer is painting it as if this happens right after Season 1 of Jessica Jones, but whatever. So, it looks like she's going to be someone's going to try and buy her out of her investigation thing.
I'm not familiar with this because I didn't read the Alias comics.
He's not in them as far as I know.
Okay.
I know there's a current series, or maybe my information's out of date. I know Bendis came back and I think worked on some new Jessica Jones stuff, but the original Alias miniseries didn't have this character. It didn't involve that at all because the main arc of that was just the Purple Man.
Which, by the way, is coming back in the form of PTSD flashbacks, which I'm kind of with.
I'm actually curious. I'm a little concerned that it's not going to be flashbacks, because they mentioned in this trailer, again, at the end of Jessica Jones Season 1, remember, they mentioned the, I believe they call it IGH, which could stand for Inhuman Growth Hormone.
Oh no!
See, they set that up. They'll probably change it. That might have been their intention originally, because MGH, Mutant Growth Hormone, was a thing in the comics.
Right.
But then in the show, they called it IGH, which was before Inhumans came out, which made me think. So anyway, this season it looks like she's going to be digging into her own backstory and trying to figure out exactly what happened to her, how she gained the powers. And in the trailer, they happen to mention. This isn't a spoiler, it's in the trailer. She got her powers because they brought her back to life through experimentation after the accident that killed her parents.
With IGH?
I would guess.
So you're thinking they brought the Purple Man back to life with IGH? Who's on board with bringing that guy back?
I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying the fact that being brought back to life is a plot point concerns me, because I don't think they would bring that in unless it had direct influence on the plot.
Do you know what I like? The idea of is she has PTSD flashbacks of the Purple Man all season, and then he's actually alive, and she thinks it's a flashback.
Okay, that'd be fine.
That's kind of a twist, this partly is because I think David Tennant did an amazing job as the Purple Man.
Yeah.
I think Kilgrave is an excellent villain. And it was a shame to see him die, but you needed to.
Yeah.
Because then why would she do anything else?
Yeah.
So if he were to come back, part of me is like, okay. But the other part of me is like, but we get to see more of that interaction, which I like, because she is the raw physical strength and he is the other kind of strength that she fights over constantly, which is mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Also, as bad as this sounds, a lot of the really great writing and acting from, I think, Season 1 came from Christian Ritter.
Interacting with him. And that concept.
And basically Jessica just dealing with fucking awful situations.
Literally life rape. What?
I want to see more of
the
show because it's compelling. Because
it is very
honestly,
compelling.
They both act their parts excellently and make you feel the drama.
But I still like the idea of Kilgrave just being in her head so much that we still get those, but he's still not real. I'm also fine with that. So however they want to tackle that is kind of fine, as long as it's not just like like every scene is Tenet, because what they did is they spread it out really well. So every time you saw him, it was like, oh fuck, we're gonna see him. So maybe even just like conversations every once in a while where she just sits in a room and it's these match shots back and forth, back in like in a mirror even or something, and they have conversations. I think that could work. Like make it like a little horror-y.
Yeah, I'm curious who the main villain's gonna be, because she says a line in the trailer like, it takes a monster to beat a monster. There are two ways I could interpret this, one being she is calling herself a monster, and whoever the antagonist of the season is, whether it be the Purple Man or someone else, is the other monster. Or it could be her calling the Purple Man a monster, and she's either using talking to him in her head as a tool to help understand the new antagonist, or if he is actually alive,
I kind of like dead Kilgrave Hannibal Lecter. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. So, also, what's her face?
Trish.
Her Trish. She's now the superhero she was in the things. So
I am so interested. I honestly thought when because Trish was introduced for one thing, because in the comics, Jessica does have a friend, but it's Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers.
She's not that.
Right. So they replaced her with Trish, who in the comics is a lesser hero known as Hellcat.
Yep, which is awful, but
I assumed they weren't gonna go there. I assumed they were just gonna keep it to reference. Looks like they're actually going for, like, turning her into Hellcat, which is weird.
Do they have to say Hellcat?
I assume they won't call her Hellcat in the same way they never called Jessica Jones. What was her...
Yeah, I know
what was her what was her alias in the comics?
The Sparkle or some shit like that. It was garbage.
It was, she had
She also hated it and resented it.
Yeah.
Also, they did the same thing with now I can't remember his name, the guy with the pills.
Oh yeah,
the American guy,
the red, white, and blue fucking what's his name?
What is his name? I don't know.
It's a dumb name.
It is really.
I love
that's
it.
why I can't.
Nuke. Is it Nuke?
It's Nuke.
It's fucking Nuke.
I was gonna say Atom Bomb, but no, Nuke. It was Nuke.
Which literally,
there's that cop. If you don't know who Nuke is, if you missed it, that cop is an adaptation of a character in the Alias comics called Nuke, who is like a military experiment gone wrong character. He was like, think the Punisher, but he takes pills in red, white, and blue.
No. Let me explain. It's this character, I have heard this, it was pitched as, and this was like in the 90s when comics were like edgy as fuck, boy.
Well, Alias came out in the...
No, Alias came out in the 2000s. And
did it come out in the early 2000s?
It came out in like the mid 2000s, I think.
I thought it was late 90s. I could be wrong.
No, it's not the 90s. It's definitely not. The art style is way too good to be the 90s.
Well, Frank Miller.
Frank Miller's fucking... What about...
80s, 90s.
Totally
I'm just saying the art styles aren't unknown for comic books and that.
They're very different.
Well, I know they're different art styles, but I'm saying like good. Anyway, not comic-y.
I'm talking. How do I explain this? Despite style, you can still tell a gradual increase in quality in the art in comics.
It was for adults
throughout the decades, and you can tell Alias is not 90s. Anyway,
sure.
Nuke was basically pitched as, what if Captain America, but edgy 90s, fucking, and he was in Vietnam, and it's like,
yeah,
calm down, 90s.
And then they gave him pills that made him like not invulnerable, but impervious to pain, and
off in the corner somewhere, Rob Liefeld was failing at drawing people's feet. Anyway,
oh no.
So I totally lost track of what we were fucking talking about.
We're talking about Nuke.
Okay, Nuke
and Hellcat.
Oh yeah. So I find it interesting that Trish is going to potentially become Hellcat or whatever.
She's gonna have a suit? I think she's gonna show up with one, and Jessica Jones is gonna be like, "You fucking idiot."
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Also, in the trailer, we actually got a mention of Captain America.
Yeah.
Rare in the Marvel TV series that they don't.
Jessica Jones was the last time they mentioned the Avengers, and that was in Costumes in the Park.
Yeah, and they still they generally will either be a visual reference or they'll like say like the flag waver or something like that.
But she said Captain America.
Yeah, but they said Captain America. Good step, Marvel. Good step.
Yeah. I don't know. They didn't give us a lot of information.
No, it's the first trailer. I don't expect them to, and honestly, a show like Jessica Jones, I kind of want to be surprised by what's going to happen, so I'm glad they didn't reveal too much. Unfortunately, I assume as the trailers go on, we'll learn more, but...
see, Jessica Jones is better when there's not, like, violence scenes, because she's not good at it, and that's kind of it kind of makes it... You know how when you watch, like, a Batman fight, you never think, oh, there's stakes. But when she fights, you're like, she could get fucking hurt, because she can't help it.
Yeah,
she's not very good at it.
She's a private investigator. She's not really. I mean,
I really like the detective aspect of her shit.
She is a private detective who occasionally will veer into heroing. She is not a superhero, in my opinion.
Right, I agree, and so I hope they treat her like that, and they don't try to make her more. I'm not. The thing is, my least interested aspect, like the thing I was least interested in season 1, was the accident stuff. They kept going to Luke Cage's wife stuff, and so again, this is about that. So I'm worried that I'm not going to give it a fair shake.
Here's what I'm banking on, and that is based on the trailer. It sounds like either the antagonist of this season. Because again, she's like, what did they do to us in the trailer?
It's someone else.
So it makes me think the antagonist isn't going to be the Purple Man. It's going to be someone else who was experimented on at the same time as her and is going to have some sort of interesting powers. I hope it's not just... Also has Jessica Jones powers.
Well, that's what they did with Luke Cage, and it was bad.
So I hope they don't do that. I hope it's some more interesting again.
I still don't know why that Luke Cage guy had any of the things he had.
Why
he had like
Copperhead?
a suit? He had a suit.
The super suit he had?
Copperhead was an amazing villain. That's why the beginning of it was so good.
I forget what his fucking stepbrother called himself.
I don't fucking know.
It was another kind of snake.
Rattle bitch.
Rattle bitch. He's officially Rattle bitch from now on. But yeah, I don't remember that either because it wasn't particularly...
Black Mamba?
It was not Black Mamba, but I guarantee there is a Luke Cage villain called Black Mamba. Oh my god, if there isn't a fucking Luke Cage... Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's probably been shelved for a couple decades, but in the 70s, oh yeah, I can see Tiara Luke Cage being like, Black Mamba, you bad mamma jamma. You better... Oh god.
You bet not! I'm gonna punch you into Sunday!
Oh, 70s, 60s Marvel. Appreciate ya.
Tone it down though, huh?
Black Panther's out in
we're gonna watch it.
Oh yeah.
We'll do a review of Black Panther.
Oh yeah. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
I've heard great things, by the way.
I have heard great things too.
I'm not surprised. The director's the guy that did Creed and Fruitvale Station, I think.
Well, he's gonna do a fucking great job then. The soundtrack, by the way, I'm not a huge hippity hop fan. I do listen to rap sometimes, but the soundtrack for the trailers have been really, really good, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing. Because, in the Avengers movies, we get that orchestral superhero generic. Yeah. But I'm kind of interested to see, are we going to get some licensed music throughout and kind of...
my concern with that is they'll turn everything into...
I don't want it to be Suicide Squad.
Nah, I was going to say Guardians. I don't want them to turn everything into a Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't either, but I think part of it is warranted. I guarantee we're going to have like a very slow introduction where maybe he's driving a car or something. Or maybe it's a private jet and they finally fly into Wakanda and they're listening to music or something. I just want like a fight scene, maybe out of the Black Panther costume that's like in a bar somewhere where the music makes sense to be.
By the way, I love the Black Panther costume.
It's fucking rad.
It was good in Civil War. They redesigned it a bit for the movie.
It's got more delineated lines.
Yeah,
and so you can see it better. But it's not like, look at our Power Rangers armor or Iron Man armor. It's very clearly different in like one piece of fabric.
It's a great suit. Black Panther's one of those costumes that's a hard comic book design to translate into live action.
Because it was just spandex.
Yeah, they did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Again, Marvel, for all the shit that they are given, and we give them shit sometimes.
Their design is on point every time.
Their entire fucking...
like Ragnarok, the new Thor was awesome. By the way, new hammer.
Oh yeah, I guess we should talk about that.
Just for real quick.
Here's a picture.
Stormbreaker.
This is Stormbreaker, I think. Stormbreaker, which
Break storms.
Was the name of Beta Ray Bill's hammer in the comics. It's slightly different here. It looks more like the Ultimate Thor's hammer, but with the name Stormbreaker.
So again, is it an axe on the back?
It's an axe on the back. Beta again, it looks kind of like, or it looks like Ultimate Thor. Sorry, named after Beta Ray Bill's.
Sure.
And is this a spoiler? Should I spoil this? Okay,
possible spoiler. So just leave now. You watched enough.
The handle, I think, is made out of Groot. Piece of Groot.
It might be. I noticed.
Did you notice that?
I noticed that it was.
It's like specifically it's either.
But is that a spoiler?
It's either made out of a piece of Groot. Well, it means at some point. Groot. Well, you know what? It would make sense too because
Groot's alive. I mean,
Thor is with the Guardians at the beginning of the movie, so that would make sense too.
But why need Groot?
I don't know. It'll either be some Deus Ex Machina Groot thing. Why would it be?
Something strong enough to hold it, but Groot gets beat up all the time. I don't know. If it is Groot, that's fine. I don't know why. I'm sure they'll think of something clever. It's usually something clever with those movies. Like, I don't think there's any part of the canon of this Marvel universe that they've built that I think there's no fucking reason for that. You know what I mean?
I mean, now I'm just thinking that everything that happens in The Incredible Hulk. But
Fuck
I
you!
I know what you mean.
We all dismiss that as like a probably happened. I know it
Hey,
happened. I know it happened, but
Ross came back in Civil War. Everett Ross.
but we all ignore it.
And I guess, remember at the end of The Incredible Hulk, it's like they were setting up the Master, who is a Hulk villain that's not particularly interesting. That guy got, like, gamma radiation dripped on his forehead because the Master is basically Hulk, but big brain.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume because we never saw that guy again, he just got cancer and died.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's really it. Some extra Marvel shit at the end here.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marvel stuff that comes out all the time because they got so much shit going on, so it makes sense to tack it on at the end of this.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it. Everyone enjoy Black Panther. We'll be back to review Jessica Jones as well. Yeah,
Black Panther comes out Thursday.
We missed a bunch of reviews. We gotta. We'll get back on track with the reviews.
Sure.
That sounded very unsure.
He's doing a Space Jam thing soon.
It'll either be out this week or early next week.
I believe in him. He's gonna do it. You got a jersey for it.
Don't tell him that.
There's a jersey. If they're still here, they earned it.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Hugo.
Check.
Popular.